Growing up. It's a tough time for everyone. If you're 14 or 34, when you begin growing hair in new and peculiar places, or you start noticing the opposite sex, getting older can be a scary, confusing time. And if you're a lucky boy, you might have something even scarier to deal with. I'm talking about the Force. The Force complicates even the most innocent of bodily changes, but hopefully, after viewing this informational film, you will be ready to embrace your new body and all the wonderful things you'll now be able to do with it. Meet Billy. Billy is 26, and he's what we in the medical field call developmentally stunted. Billy woke up this morning with a strange tingling sensation in his stomach, which is located in this general area. Is it indigestion? Is it the guilty feeling of knowing he drank too much Java juice at the Mos Eisley Cantina while trying to pick up a cute little Twi'lek stripper? Possibly, but that's beside the point. What Billy is about to discover is that the tingling feeling he's experiencing will change his life forever. Billy is becoming force sensitive. Force sensitive is a term us sciencey doctor type people use to describe the moment in which your body begins to develop a special connection to the world around you and eventually new powers. This sensitivity is typically associated with a tingling feeling in the stomach, hands, and/or buttocks. But don't be afraid, this isn't a bad tingle. Quite the opposite. Recent research concludes that it's the best tingle you'll ever feel. Much better than the tingle you feel after you find out that Twi'lek stripper you picked up on Terranea had space gonorrhea. Right now in Billy's body, his midichlorians are going bonkers. You see, when two midichlorians like each other, they share a special kind of hug. This hug produces such energy that it creates little midichlorians. As these little midichlorians age and grow, they too will share a special hug that creates even more midichlorians. More often than not, these midichlorians inside us fail to really connect with each other, and unfortunately, for most people, they will simply become nothing better than an ordinary, everyday waste of human life, like Theodore here. At this time, you're probably thinking to yourself, "Hey, Mr. Science Guy, what does any of this have to do with me? I don't even know if I've got any midi whatever they're called arians in my body." Well, luckily for you, there's a simple test. First, find yourself a very sharp knife. Now, slice open your wrist, just above your hand, but don't cut too deep. There's ligaments and other important medical things that you don't want to cut through. Once you've made the cut, take a single drop of blood and place it on a glass slide. Now, take this slide to the nearest microbiology laboratory to have it examined in a neutron microscope. If your blood looks like this, congratulations. You are a force ager. Now let's take a look at the powers you'll soon be using. One of the very first powers that will manifest itself is the so-called force push. When one learns to master the so-called force push, the so-called force push can come in handy in many situations. The so-called force push lets you push objects or people without even touching them, like this. At certain times, those that have become force agers can actually see into the future. This can be an extremely useful power in your everyday life. Imagine being able to win every time you play rock, paper, scissors, or see what this week's lottery numbers will be, or which team will win the big game. Not only can this power be financially profitable, it can also save your life. If, for example, you were planning to jump the Grand Canyon in a rocket-powered car, you'd be able to see if you'd make it long before you put your neck on the line. Or, if you're sitting in a bar somewhere, you can tell if that sexy little Nemoidian female is really a sexy little Nemoidian male. Perhaps one of the most powerful force powers, the Jedi mind trick, doesn't initially seem like it would be all that useful. But brother, let me tell you, it's the bee's knees, as the kids say. With a Jedi mind trick, you can make people believe almost anything you want them to believe. This is true because people are generally weak-willed and stupid, and when you use the Jedi mind trick, you can make someone do just about anything that you want them to. There are some things that you'll need to watch out for when using the Jedi mind trick. Anyone who is not a simpleton may not be fazed by your trick. If you try to influence someone who has a mind of their own, they may not fall for it. Failing to influence someone will only infuriate them, and they may try to harm you by cutting off one of your limbs. This is why you should only try the Jedi mind trick on lesser species, like Mon Calamari or foreigners. Force lightning gives you the ability to shoot streams of electricity from the tips of your fingers. Often referred to as a dark side power, force lightning has its uses in everyday life. There are 5 everyday uses for force lightning. You can electrocute rabbits. You can electrocute puppies. You can electrocute the elderly. You can electrocute Ewoks. And, of course, you can even electrocute puppies. Another of the dark side powers, force choke, may be evil, but that doesn't mean it isn't useful and fun to do. Force choke lets you intimidate people, especially those jocks, by making those jocks feel like they are choking. By raising your hand thusly and pinching your fingers together thusly, you can make people feel as though they are choking from up to 100 parsecs away. While it may be fun to force choke Jawas and Ewoks, this power should never be used against an intelligent species. If you fail to actually kill the person you are force choking, they're going to get really mad. Really, really mad and may attempt to sever one of your limbs. If you are experiencing burgeoning force powers, all you have to do is remember this simple mnemonic device. IYB TYHFPTASTLT TFPADOTCDESLOOYEF. Or, if you believe that you have force powers, try a simple thing like trying to force push a dog off the couch, or even shoot lightning out of your extended fingers. So take our advice and you can end up just like Billy here, comfortable with your new body and new force powers.